Greetings and God bless. I just wanted to make an observation of the past few states that I've lived in, where it seems like what cities want, what permissions there are, is for people who open tattoo parlors, CBD shops, and vape shops. Like everywhere, even during the lockdowns, I saw these stores open up. When things were closing out, when stores were closing down, but the CBD store, the tattoo parlors, and the vape shops. That is booming business. And I noticed this even before the lockdowns. And I just, like it's clear to me that that is what cities are pushing and endorsing, and they're all about it. When I was living in Missoula, Montana, there was this young woman. She'd grown up in Missoula, Montana, and had a little booth at the farmers market for years, and so she started her brick and mortar store, and it was just selling it was just a little you could buy packaged cookies and sodas, and it was all Russian. And the city gave her all sorts of flack. And she tried, making a go of it for 2 years, maybe more. But eventually she closed. But during the same time, the CBD store or vape shop, like other things along those lines, um, they were fine. They started around the same time, and they're going strong. Just such solid support from cities, and I've seen that here in Rapid City, South Dakota. Empty stores fill up with the CBD shops and tattoo parlors. That's what I'm seeing a lot here. There's not any new like real grocery stores or convenience stores, but you can get your dope and your tattoos. And during the lockdowns, I believe I'm pretty sure the liquor stores were open, and I'm betting that, or I'm not going to bet, but I bet, or it would. I'm. I wonder if the tattoo parlors were open. And what does that say when they close down churches, threaten people with jail, but you could make sure to get your drugs, your tattoos, your alcohol? You know, I mean, like, does that like resonate as a bit of a problem to anybody? So, uh, yeah, I just wanted to make that observation that just that how, um, there's this kind of invisible discrimination and there's this apartheid. If you're just opening up a store that helps people eat and have conveniences, cities are not going to help. And I'm talking about Montana and South Dakota and like Virginia. I'm not talking about like San Francisco. Okay. Like what we think of as conservative, I don't know what is up with cities, but they're not here to make sure you have like that the locals can buy their dental floss or can buy a pen or whatever. No, what cities want, and I'm talking about like Montana and South Dakota, what cities are making sure you get is your tattoos, your CBD oil and your CBD whatever, and your vaping. That's what's important to places like South Dakota and Montana. So I just think it's surreal. It's really disappointing because when you've lived in, let's say New York or San Francisco, you can go around the corner and buy a pencil or buy a soda, buy a little can of soda or something like that. But if you're right, like for sure, like right here in Rapid, you can't do that. Like if you're in downtown, you have to go in a car and go a couple miles, and you'll then you can get something that's convenient. But if you come to downtown Rapid, you can definitely make sure you can get your CBD, you can get your tattoo, and I haven't looked around for vape shops, but I bet there's something here. So and that's like there's this weird apartheid where that is the priority. That's the priority if you're in a downtown area, and if you're a local, you have to have a car, and you have to be willing to go 10 miles to go somewhere or 5 miles to go somewhere. And I feel like that is a type of an apartheid because, there's some of us who don't wanna get high, who don't wanna get a tattoo, and we just want the practical things, like a sewing kit or, a candy bar. We just want to be able to get that conveniently downtown. And, uh, and I feel like it's like the temperate person, there's a discrimination. If you just want to be practical and prudent, you have to go 5 to 10 miles away to take care of your needs. But if you're going to party, well, we're going to make sure we have tattoo parlors and CBD and alcohol, like. So do you understand what I'm saying? Because like there's other wild liberal cities that actually do have a little convenience store right around the block. But, you come to Rapid City, South Dakota, and you are on your own. Like when I first got here and I was staying at the hotel, and I'm like, I can't remember what it was, Q-tips, I think it was. I'm like, I asked, I was at the Rushmore Hotel, and I asked the lady at the front desk, I'm like, oh, is there a convenience store? She looked at me like I was an idiot and like she was embarrassed for me. And the thing is, there is not a place to buy Q-tips within. I think you have to go like 2 miles away. Like, there, I'm not joking. It might be even, yeah, I'd say a mile and a half to 2 miles away. Bacon Park, I'm thinking, and that is just. I mean, this is like 2000. I mean, I moved here in 2020. But this is pretty recent. Like, they do not have something like that here in downtown Rapid. You have to go 2 miles away. And this is downtown Rapid. This is the main tourist drag. But nobody thought to have something like those fundamentals. Nobody thinks to have a little shop like that, or it hasn't been supported. And, I think people would buy, the sundries downtown. And maybe it's because of the aggressive homeless people. Maybe people are thinking that they're going to be in there all the time. But there's all these restaurants that are open during the day, and so I don't know. I mean, it's just weird. Like, I've got to say, Rapid City is like the weirdest city planning and like motivation, like that I have ever seen on so many levels. It's just uh, strange. So yeah, and why? Why is it that the only thing that get like that the only new business that I've seen since I've been here has been a vape shop and a tattoo parlor. Like that's what's new. Okay, one Mexican restaurant. That's pretty much the only new business along one strip. There is a new like a little bakery kind of a thing, like fast foody kind of bakery thing. But in basically like a year and a half, it's I mean, the one thing I just am seeing is tattoo parlors, CBD shops, and vape shops. Like that is consistently what I'm seeing in like when you go inland. Because I'm in the plains area and I was in the inland northwest. And I think when I was in Virginia, I think I probably saw either a vape shop or a CBD shop open up. So I know it's like it's cutting edge and everything, but it seems like other businesses that are doing something much more practical and open to a lot more people, those businesses seem to get a lot of trouble, a lot of friction, but everything is smooth for the tattoo, CBD, and vape shop. And I wonder why. Um, so we can only speculate. Thanks for watching. God bless.